Hi there, welcome to No Nonsense Whiskey. My name's Vin PF, and on today's episode we've got another Glasgow 1770. You guys know I'm a massive fan of these guys, and I'm grateful to them for sending me over this, and also a little bonus for you guys. They also sent me the other two in this series, which I'll go into in a bit, but they sent me them in samples. So what I'm going to do, instead of a sample Saturday, I'm going to do those at the end of this video, so you get a bit of a sense of all three of them, rather than just one, and then we're having to wait a few weeks for the other one to go, and I think they'll probably sell out too quickly. So yeah, this is going to be like, instead of a sample Saturday this week, it's going to be part of this video as well, which you know, let me know what you think about that. But I think it makes sense in the context of this. But I'll do a proper review of the Marsala that I have here, and then we'll go into the other two later, so you can check out the chapters below if you want to skip ahead or back or whatever you want to do. Let's get into it then and see what we got. Okay, so Glasgow, obviously they have their core range, you know, the firm favourites, original, triple distilled, peated. Apart from that, they do basically just bonkers stuff. You know, they've got their stuff aging in God knows what over there. We've seen quite a lot of different interesting casks, and they do that with, you know, their peated distillate, their triple distilled distillate, their normal distillate, and they kind of mess around doing whatever they want to do with those things. Now we've got the next trio, if you want to say so. We've got the Marsala wine cask, which we have here today, gratefully. We've got a Madeira cask finish, and then we've got an Islay cask finish. Again, we'll go into those a bit later on. Now, this one's interesting because although I said finish a couple of times there, this one here has been fully matured in the Marsala wine casks. This isn't a finish. 7 years old, which is, you know, great for these guys as well. It's getting on to be some of their oldest stock that they've got, I would guess. So they've made these choices really, really early on in their kind of whiskey making career. You know, let's get this distillate and chuck it in this. Obviously, that's been paying off. You know, I can't think of any bad ones that I've had over the years. You know, I've had ones that I like less than the others for sure, like the Tokai. Not really a kind of personal favourite, but still absolutely fantastic whiskey. So really interested to see how this pays off for them, because the other cool thing about this is it's actually a trio of casks. One of the things I like about Glasgow is they've got this little band here where they put loads of information. Or, to be fair, not even loads of information, just succinct information, important information. Give you the cask numbers as well, so that's pretty cool. Put their peated whiskey in it, and then off it went. You know, fully matured, which is... it's pretty cool. You know, usually these guys do like, you know, virgin cask and then a finish or something like that, which is like what the other ones have done. But yeah, I don't know. The best thing to do is get into it and see what we've got. But it's 60.2% and still 59 quid. Their kind of standard special release price, which is, you know, it's bonkers really, isn't it? It's bonkers. Okay, let's have a look at it then. You know, look at the colour on that. It's absolutely astounding. It's basically red, isn't it? It's basically red. Let's get into the nose and see what we got. Okay, now, this is something I'm finding with Glasgow stuff, is that 60% is a big number, 60.2, big number, but the nose doesn't really betray that. It's betraying some peat. It's betraying some lively fruits. But really, it's just a nice. I mean, I don't want to say chilled out. It's not a chilled out nose, but for me, it's a chilled out nose. It gives me warming sensations. You know, when I get that kind of that meaty peatiness, it makes me go, you know, comfort. It's comfort. Let's try on the palate. Okay. Yep, a lot to unpick. As with a lot of their peated stuff, it tends to err on the side of barbecue, smoked meats. But this is bringing in a kind of, like a lively, it's not overly sweet, a kind of lively sweetness that's coming through with it. Lots of, instead of kind of like, if I was going to compare it to like the PX that I put out, it isn't quite like punchy sweetness, but it's got this kind of nicely well-rounded sweetness, kind of more chilled out. I think maybe even wider appeal, possibly, but absolutely fantastic. One of the things that really, I don't often look at the tasting notes on bottles, but one of the things they're saying on here is roasted peach, and it might have been Inception, but I'm just getting like literally like canned it's like, I mean, I don't know about roasted peaches, but canned peaches. I mean, yet again, Glasgow absolutely smashing it out of the park. Fantastic whiskey, absolutely fantastic whiskey. And I'm just, again, made up that they want to send them to me to review, because I'd buy them. That's the truth. I'd buy them. And I say that a lot, when I do these sorts of reviews, especially on fairly expensive whiskies. I think, well, probably I wouldn't buy them if I weren't sent them, because they're too expensive. But these guys just are not expensive, is the truth. Okay, well, what we'll do then, we'll skip along for the other two. I did bring some water. I'm going to put that back there and do this. And we'll move over into kind of unedited Sample Saturday. Now, I don't really know what order to do these in, is the truth. But the first one then is the Madeira. You can see, look, this is like a duty paid sample bottle. The Madeira cask finish, 6 years old, I believe, and has a year or so. Yeah, I think it was. I should get the website up really and have a look. That would be the best thing to do, because that's what I normally do on these Sample Saturdays. Let's have a little peeky peek. Madeira. It is initially filled in virgin American oak, finishing for 1 year and 11 months, nearly 2 years in Madeira, which should offer apricot, orange, tobacco, ginger cake. Okay, let's get into it then. Nice colour still. Let's go. Oh. Do you know what? Maybe because I've just had the Marsala, but I'm not getting that much peat off the nose. Very sweet, very, obviously I'm getting the kind of apricots and orange now that I've read that. Let's try on the palate. Oh, that's a beaut, that is. Now, whereas I said my PX was like punchy, fruity, and the Marsala was kind of hedgerow fruity, this one is a whole different kind of fruity. It's like a juicy, it's not overly sweet, but it's juicy, explosive fruity, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Really lovely. Oh my god, that's like, I would say the first thing that popped in my head then was the Marsala is like, obviously it's fantastic. It's kind of like it's kind of homecoming for me. Whereas this is like, dangerously drinkable, juicy fruits. I don't want to go down the road of saying it's like fruit juice style, but it's just very easy drinking. Yeah, I literally cracked that for this. That's the first taste of that. I can't imagine that sample lasting long, to be honest. That's lovely. Let's have another cleanse. Okay then, lastly, we've got the Islay cask finish. Again, a 6-year-old. And this one here, slightly different, if I remember rightly. And that is that it's not virgin cask to start with. 6-year-old, it's been in a refill. Oh no, hang on. It actually doesn't say. Single cask, 6-year-old, peated malt, distilled from malted barley, imbibed with. It just says that and then finished. So it doesn't actually say what cask it was in first. Interesting. Usually they're good with that. But yeah, so it was then. The crux of it was it's their peated distillate in whatever cask. And then it's been recasked into a refill bourbon hogshead that previously held peated single malt from an Islay distillery. So you've got two different competing styles of smoke in here. Lovely colour again. Kudos. Again, all of these 59 quid. Oh, that feels thicker. Let's have a go. Interesting. So this is like, there's no fruits on this. This is more akin to those kind of traditional, the honeys, the caramels. I mean, you can see even at, well, I forgot the ABV. The 58% on the first one, 57.3 on this. I'm getting my nose right in there still. Obviously, I'm smelling peat. Obviously, I'm smelling ABV, but I'm getting a real sense of cask type wood, tannins, tobacco, that sort of thing. Let's go onto the palate. Oish. That is a thinking person's whiskey. It's like, right, so, okay, right, so I'm literally on the fly trying to put this into context for you. So it's, I mean, I love peated and PX. That to me is like two hobbies coming together, my barbecue and my whiskey coming together perfectly. And on that same spectrum, I quite like most kind of sherry and peat. I don't like sherry normally, to be fair. I mean, sometimes I do, but mostly I stay away from it. Obviously, I like peat of every different kind now. That's my bag. I'm into it. And I'm really coming round to that kind of like ex-bourbon peat, because it just brings just a really, really nice, not quite chilled out because I'm having to think a lot, but just a really, really good tasting experience. This is the kind of whiskey I like to drink when I'm in the mood for assessing a whiskey, if that makes sense. Not to say that it's only for that. Obviously, you want to be sharing it and whatnot, but this isn't one that I would want to drink when I was like watching a film or something like that. Something I'd have to really pay attention to. But really fantastic. Salted caramel. Bags of it. Now, that's, I mean, 3 incredibly different styles there today. Picking a favourite, impossible. Absolutely impossible. Tonight, it seems like, you know, while I'm recording, I've done my review of the big bottle and tried the other 2 on the fly. And I would say my palate is leaning towards the Islay cask. But I am in the mood for assessing tonight, which is why I'm recording. If I was going to watch a YouTube or a film or something like that, I wouldn't reach for that. No way. It would be a waste. It'd be a waste of the glass because, as you guys well know, when I'm chilling out, I'll probably use a tumbler and not one of these fancy glasses or whatever. So I don't think I'd reach for the Islay. I'd reach for one of the other 2, probably the juicy one. But I think every single one of these has a mood, for sure. And that's the beauty of having all of this, right? All different moods. Yeah, there you go. Let me know what you think about these. Hopefully you're into it. You know, I've spouted about Glasgow often enough that hopefully they should be on all of your radars by now. The bottle that I've got, that's the biggest run. That's 850 odd bottles. The other 2 are very, very, very small amounts of bottles. So if you are interested in either of these, I would go and get them pretty quickly, to be honest, because they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone. They might even be gone by the time this video comes out, but we'll see. We'll see. Let me know if you've bought these, if you've tried them. I know a few of them have tried them in bars and whatnot, but either way, I'll say cheers to you, and I'll catch you again on the next video.